Sometimes you just got to give yourself a moment, Cowboy fans. Sometimes you just got to give yourself a moment to just soak in what's happening right now. We just got to soak in what's happening because I see there's a lot going on right now. A whole lot going on. I'm hearing a lot about Coach of the Year. I'm hearing a whole lot. Now, Cowboys just beat the Chiefs 31-28. And Dak Prescott, who I'm proud to say I've always been a believer in, always been a believer. Not just rookie season, not just before the leg injury, not just this year. I've always been a believer in Dak. Watch too much football not to be a believer in Dak. So anybody who been holding Dak down from the beginning, make sure y'all stand up because the haters are still alive. And look, if we being real about the situation, I believe in Dak. I believe Dak is one of the top quarterbacks in the league since he's entered the league. But he makes head scratching decisions sometimes because he's not perfect. He made a head scratching decision in that game. He threw the ball, that interception, have no clue why he was throwing that ball there. If anything, he probably should have just threw it to Turpin underneath or just understood that the zone was, they were looking at him the whole time. He wasn't going to squeeze that football anywhere. So I think sometimes Dak thinks he can make every throw, and unfortunately, Dak, you can't make every pass, bro. But that said, I don't look at Dak being throwing interceptions as, oh, he's interception prone, he's turnover prone, he's gonna fold in the worst moments. I don't look at none of that. Let's call it what it is, y'all. Let's call it what it is. The teams that win Super Bowls, because that's what this is all about. The teams that win Super Bowls have talent, man. When the Chiefs were winning Super Bowls, they had talent. Tyreek Hill was something we've never seen before. Travis Kelsey has Hall of Fame tight ends like Shannon Sharp saying Travis Kelsey is the best tight end ever. That's coming out of Shannon Sharp's mouth. And yeah, they lost Tyreek Hill, but they still had Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, best quarterback. That's talent. Jalen Hurts had talent defensively and offensively. It takes talent, man. And for people to say we always had talented teams and our quarterbacks like Tony Romo and Dak, yeah, there were some talented teams. There were some talented teams, and we took some bad L's in the playoffs before. We all know the L's. Tony Romo, box fumbles, shit like that. But it's not because our quarterbacks were horrible. It was a lot of bad luck. Let's just call it what it is. It was a lot of bad luck in those games, man. You got the catch that wasn't a catch. You got the box field goal. You got Dak Prescott running down and the referee holding the ball to. You got all this bad luck mixed into it. But here's what we all knew. Despite our teams winning 12 games in a row, whatever it is, 3 times in a row, we all knew that there was still something missing. Throughout the year, there was still something missing. So now I hear Brian Schottenheimer is coach of the year. Why would we crown Brian Schottenheimer the coach of the year? Here's what people are saying. They're saying we're winning games that we would have never won. We never would have come back from 2 scores down or 3 scores down on a top team like this and beat them, especially not 2 times in a row. They're saying we never would have had that, never would have happened. That deserves coach of the year. Here's my thing. I think Brian Schottenheimer's the jury is still out. I'm not I'm not going to just say he got more talent and then he became a better coach. To me, the coach has got to help make the talent better too. You know what I mean? And what makes what Brian Schottenheimer has done so far, what makes it better than sorry coach Mike McCarthy? Let's not forget Mike McCarthy did win 12 games in a row, 3 years in a row. So far, we struggling to be 500. I'm not going to give him that. I'm not going to give him that, y'all. So what I feel, ultimately, what I feel is no matter what, Brian Schottenheimer, the jury is still out. It's on what we do in the playoffs for me. He got to get us to the playoffs. Schottenheimer got to get us to the playoffs. It's clear we got the talent. What's up, JV? We got what's good, man? Haters ain't got no content. I believe every quarterback believes they can make every throw. That's true. That is true. That is true. That is true. But there's some decisions, man. If we being honest, there's some decisions though. Some of those decisions, and I'm talking about the interceptions that don't get caught. I don't know what the stat is on interception worthy throws, but I'm telling you, there's probably a few a game that is like, damn, Dak. And I think Dak is one of the best. I said he was top three. The only guy I said he wasn't better than was Patrick Mahomes. And I said earlier in the season, I may do Josh Allen. I'm not worried about Josh Allen no more. I'm still sticking with Patrick Mahomes at number one, but Dak is right there. And if Dak starts scrambling a little bit more, Dak can take over number one. Let's just call it what it is. If Dak scrambles a little bit more, I know we still got Stafford, but he's old. If Dak just scrambles a little bit more, remember that first quarter, second quarter, he's just take off, man. You ain't got to make every throw. Just take off. I know he believes it, but Dak doesn't have the best arm in the world. We've never thought that. We beat both the conference champions with no prep time. Hey, there's something special going on with this team, man. There's something special going on with this team, and here's the thing, y'all. Why are we still starting so slow though? Why does it still feel like that first quarter and a half is killing us, man? Ain't that how we lose in the playoffs? Right? And what playoff game have we been able to start fast in? Every playoff game, it seems like Dak is coming from behind. If Dak goes one possession and doesn't score, turns the ball over one time, we're down three scores. First quarter. We can't win like that. We can't win like that, man. I believe Dak is too nice with his ball distribution, which does put the ball at risk sometimes. You know what? I'm trying to agree with you on that one, man. But he be throwing the ball to CD and Pickens most of the time. To be honest with you, the interception he threw, it should have went underneath to Turpin. I think he needs to distribute the ball a little bit more when he knows that the coverage is really going to be on his top, two or three guys, whatever it is. I can be with you on that, but I think he needs to just that where Dak gets in trouble is when he predetermines where he's going to go with the football. When Dak sees the coverage and he makes his adjustments and he knows he's going to go to this guy, it's hard sometimes for Dak to get off of that sometimes. And especially when he's behind, he's not as comfortable. We got Dak owns Philly Bucks. What about the Bucks? What about the Bucks? I'm definitely not scared of the Bucks. Yeah, I'm definitely not scared of the Bucks. I'm definitely not scared of the Bucks. The Bucks is a team you want to see. Baker Mayfield? No, no. So, but let's talk about what we're seeing, y'all. So everything that we said, remember, y'all. Remember, I was talking about Jadeveon Clowney. Remember that signing? Showed the film on him from last year. I was like, look, he's not an every down guy, but he still can play. It was clear last year Jadeveon Clowney could still play football. That was clear. It was just, what are we going to ask him? What I did not know was Clowney was going to be as hungry. What Clowney's playing like is a veteran on a Super Bowl team. Like he's playing like this is a Super Bowl team, and let's be honest, we're 500. But Clowney is playing like he still wants to play another 2 3 years, and he's trying to get a contract. That's how Clowney playing. So if we being real, Clowney's probably the best DN we got over the last 2 3 games. That's including Ezeraku. Clowney's been that guy. Um, we 500, 6 5 and 1. You know what I mean? We a struggling 500 team. We're a struggling 500 team, but we got talent though. Overshown, overshown. It's good when people come back and if everything starts to happen exactly how you expected it. We expected Overshown. We've been saying Overshown's name for weeks now. Wait till Overshown comes back. Wait till Overshown comes back. 2 weeks in a row, he's made an impact. 2 weeks in a row, he's made an impact. They got people thinking that Saquon Barkley is washed. No, he was just running into number zero, and he still ain't all the way back yet. If you watch Overshown, he still ain't all the way back yet. Wait till he really gets back. So he may still need a couple more weeks to really, really be back. So we got him. We ain't got to worry about dudes. I ain't even heard Jack Sanborn name in about 5 weeks. Great, perfect. You know what I mean? Quentin Williams is doing things that you just got to watch film to understand what he's doing. But Quentin Williams and Kenny Clark can't mess with it. Now our cornerbacks, our DBs, we just throwing people out there right now. We just throwing people out there. They say Diggs is supposed to come back. Jerry Jones just said, I think today on the radio, that Trayvon Diggs is supposed to be back. What are we expecting from Trayvon Diggs? Here's what I'm expecting. Trayvon Diggs is supposed to be a professional. Trayvon Diggs got blood in the NFL. Trayvon Diggs got history now. Trayvon Diggs is supposed to be a Hall of Famer in his eyes. So he's supposed to come back and take this serious, right? He's not supposed to be a head case. Think about it. If Trayvon Diggs comes back and becomes a head case on a team that's become better without him, what that look like for him? So we need Trayvon Diggs to be back to elite. You know what I mean? Learn from Deron Bland. Deron Bland came back, struggled, and got back to where he was supposed to be. Learn from it. Get better. Don't just rely on trying to pick the ball off. That's more than that than trying to pick the ball off. Uh, JV says, I was scared of Agent Zero returning mainly because of I wholeheartedly believe it's too early. Hey, here's what I don't believe. I don't believe these NFL and I don't believe these NBA or NFL teams be rushing these dudes back, man. I think these players just too comfortable, especially in the NBA. I'll put it that way. But I think a lot of times they know what's going on. They don't be rushing these guys back. I never thought they was gonna rush DeMarion back. I never did. Even though it doesn't cost them anything, you know what I mean? I get it. He's on a rookie contract. They can rush him back. He can get hurt. It doesn't hurt him. It doesn't hurt the team. I get all that, but why would they rush him back though? You know what I mean? Like I felt like they was always gonna do right by their players. I never felt like they was rushing Diggs back or none of that kind of stuff. I felt like everybody's on their own timetable. The thing with Diggs is he gives you the impression that he doesn't work hard. Like there's certain things as fans you hear and you be like, I don't believe it. And then there's certain things you hear about somebody, you be like, I can believe that. How come when you heard that Zeke wasn't a workout warrior, you believed it? Why did you believe it? Because it showed on the film. It showed on Sundays. His body changed. His speed diminished. All the quickness, all that went away, and he was still 25 years old. So we saw that. Why did we believe that Adrian Peterson was a workout warrior? Because we saw it. We saw him get older and still be bursty. We saw him get older and still was fast. We see things. So as fans, we only can believe what we see. It doesn't matter what words are. When you see Diggs, do you feel like Diggs is a workout warrior? In my eyes, I don't believe so. So I believed some of those things I was hearing. And why did I believe it? I believe it based on what I see on the football field. I believe he was a finesse player who likes to get his interceptions, but I don't believe he's a very tough guy. So if you tell me that you have to work really, really hard to get back on the football field and be the best you can be, and you tell me that he's not doing that, I'm going to believe that because that's just I believe my eyes. And guess what? He came back early, but did he look ready to play? Everybody was hyping up Diggs for being back early and blaming the Cowboys organization for trying to blame him. Did Diggs look ready to play when he came back? I'm not saying he looked unhealthy, but did it look like he was studying the game? Did it look like he was really challenging himself and really was ready to play? Didn't look like it's me. We got rookies out there that look better than him. Just call it what it is. We got dudes that we picked off on the street that was released from their team and stuff. Bridges and these dudes are better than Diggs was playing. So uh it look, Agent Zero came back. Everybody said the last time he was hurt that Devarion Overshown was a dude who they attacked rehab like they never seen before. You know what I mean? So you heard that the first time and why do you believe it? Because he gives you that impression that that's the type of dude he is, right? He just gives off that vibe, like, okay, I believe that. I believe that. I believe that he's attacking his rehab. I believed Overshown when he said the coaches and the staff told me I was going to be back in X amount of time. So I said I'm going to be back earlier. I believed all that. You believe what he's going to say. So yeah, I'm with that. Yes, duh. Bridges may be the worst corner on the team, but tell me this: would you rather take Bridges, who's at least in the spot, or would you rather take a dude who's just freelancing out there and the touchdowns are just going right over his head because he's not even in position? I'd rather take a dude that's in position than a dude that's just pouting because his homeboy got traded. Let's just call it what it is. Diggs was pouting because his homeboy got traded and Diggs thought the season was over. That's what I believe. There may have been some organization stuff with his rehab too, but Diggs was pouting. I think in Diggs' mind, he was okay with this season not being good because it would have just proved that he was right about Parsons not being traded. So that's what I got from Diggs. So I'm glad that he's not getting what he wants. They gonna play him because they paying him. They gonna play him because he paying him. But I don't think we really need Diggs right now based on how he was playing before. We need the Diggs that was playing before that. That's what we need. 6-5-1, man. 6-5-1. People don't want us to be excited about it. They said it was just the Raiders. Then they said the Eagles was our Super Bowl. And now all the Eagles fans, they don't got nothing to say now because we beat the Chiefs because they just knew we was gonna lose to the Chiefs because they just knew in their heart that we was gonna lose to the Chiefs. I thought we was gonna lose too. Honestly, I thought we was gonna get out coached. That's why I'm saying I'm not saying Brian Schottenheimer is the coach of the year because 6-5-1 is not coach of the year vibes. Hell no, you got a top quarterback. 6-5-1 is not good. But if he can sneak us into the playoffs, hmm, that's worth it. That's worth it. So I think yeah, man, I'm excited about what's to come. I'm excited about what's to come. So we got Detroit. That's a winnable game, man. Jared Goff. People were saying Jared Goff was better than Dak. Man, Dak is way better than Jared Goff. Jared Goff folds all the time. He always had talent as well, but he ain't no Dak Prescott. I've never heard anybody talk about Jared Goff the way they talk about Dak when it comes to leadership and all that kind of stuff, intangibles. He ain't no Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott need to go. We need to beat that team. They shouldn't be able to hold us at all. Yeah, Detroit got injuries. I understand they got some some dudes at linebacker that's pretty good and stuff like that. But hey, Aiden Hutchinson and all that kind of stuff. I don't know what all their injuries are, but the main thing for them is that offense. If they got that quarterback and they got one of the two of them receivers and they got that tight end or that receive, actually, let's not sleep on the running back. So if they still got H-N, dudes like that can still hit their head on the goalpost, they still got dudes like that. So I think Williams, he's a speedster. Detroit is not somebody that the Dak and the offense can take lightly. This ain't gonna be no 17-point game. You're gonna have to get back into that 30-point range to really beat Detroit. That's a good. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. Hey, look, sometimes that happens, right? We had CD out for what, 3, 4 games? So hey, but you know why Detroit's good? You know why Detroit's so good? Because they don't just have one good player. They got Williams now. So Say Brown is out, but they got Williams. The tight end is out. But if we being real, y'all, I made a short video about this. Playing tight end is so easy. Like if you really just watch the tight ends, there's some tight ends like a Brock Bowers where you be like, okay, he's doing something different. But most of these tight ends just run in open space and stop and turn around. Like Laporta's out, so you may not get 200. You may not get 150 yards and 2 touchdowns, but you can get a tight end that's a bum and just say, "Hey, turn around at the first yard route, and nobody's going to guard you, and you're going to get 4 first downs a game." So they may throw it to a backup tight end 4 times in this game and get 4 first downs if we just don't guard them. So I get Laporta's out, but as long as they got one of them receivers and they still got that running back that can hit his head on the goalpost, good offenses don't just they not one player, they not 1 2 players away. The Cowboys offense proved that we was losing CD. We still was throwing up 30 points a game with Pickens. So we got to respect that they gonna still put up at least 25 to 30 points. So we got to be on our A game. We can't be bad in the red zone. Notice we're getting better in the red zone. Y'all notice that? Better in the red zone now. So we got to make sure we keep clicking. Got to make sure we keep clicking. We can beat Detroit. We can definitely beat Detroit. Who we got after Detroit? We got Detroit. Then we have. So who do we need to win this game? I heard some people saying they're going for the game that's today. Some people saying they're going for Chicago. Why are we not going for I mean some people say they're going for Philly to win? Why? Why would y'all want Philly to beat Chicago? I'm going for Chicago to beat Philly. We going for the division. What are y'all talking about? Yeah, I'm going for the division, man. We got the division in play. We got the Lions and the Vikings and the Chargers. The Lions, the Vikings, then the Chargers. Here's why I'm not worried about Detroit at Detroit because we're a bad road team, but we're playing at Detroit and that's turf. That's inside. Minnesota is a problem at Minnesota. The fact that we got Minnesota at home, and I'm not worried about the Chargers because they're a finesse team. They may be better defensively, but I'm not worried about them. And then we got division games after that. We'll be fine. Yeah, man. We gotta go. We need Chicago to come through. It's hard to look at a Chicago team and them be 9-3. That's crazy to me. But we need them to be 9-3 after this game. And you know what? Doesn't that really kind of prove that the Cowboys team was never really as bad as we thought? That defense was horrible though. But Chicago's legit, man. The Panthers, they legit. We lost to 2 teams that people was throwing like hating on us about, and these teams turned out to be legit. The Panthers and the Bears are legit teams. They were just sleepers. You know what I'm saying? So, but we got to take care of business, man. We got the Detroit Lions and the Minnesota Vikings. And who the Eagles got? Okay. So if we got them teams, who the Eagles got after today? Because the Eagles should have a pretty tough schedule too, since they was in the Super Bowl. So the Eagles got the Bears at today, and then they got the Chargers, then they got the Raiders. Damn, they at LA for the Chargers. Maybe that's something. But see, if Philly can lose this game today, man, ooh, because if they lose today and we can make it sketchy against the Chargers, we know they're gonna beat the Raiders. But we got to make Philly play every game this year. We got to make Philly play every game. No games off. They got to play all the way through week 17. The only way we make the playoffs is by winning the division. And if Philly filthy doesn't win the division, they're out of the playoffs. Ooh, that'll be heartbreaking. If Philly don't make the playoffs, oh, ain't no way they keep that team together. I'm talking about Barkley gone. Well, they probably got to. I don't know how they paid him, but yeah, they gonna get rid of some people. They gonna make the playoffs. I'm not. I'm not. They gonna make the playoffs, but we got to squeeze in too. We got to squeeze in too. Yeah, we got to squeeze in too, man. We gonna need some luck. Here's one thing: don't nobody want to see us. I know that. Don't nobody want to see that 5-man front. Don't nobody want to see them boys in that middle. Don't nobody want to see that O line. Y'all see Tyler Booker? So let's say no matter what happens this year, I think I tweeted something like this. No matter what happens this year, y'all know the Cowboys going to invest another first round pick on an O lineman, right? What y'all going to say if the Cowboys invest another O line pick, a first round pick in like a right tackle or something? Are we going to be mad at them? If you see the difference between a team with a good O line versus a team with a bad O line, a quarterback with a good O line versus a quarterback with a bad O line, would you be mad at the Cowboys for spending one of those first round picks on another O lineman? Personally, my first reaction is I don't want that. My first reaction, if the Cowboys spent another first round pick on the O lineman, would be just like it was probably last year. I don't want it. I want something flashier. But man, when you see these dudes handle O line like D linemen like the Philadelphia Eagles and the Kansas, like when you see the battles up front, you understand why you gotta have some dudes in that middle, man. Like, did y'all see Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter versus Tyler Smith and Tyler Booker? And did y'all see the hand fighting and the violence? Like, did y'all see Chris Jones and them boys battling? You can't have no scrubs, man. You gotta have some talent. You gotta have some Alabama boys up there. Would you be mad if a first round pick went on a linebacker and a running back? I'm not. I would definitely be mad at a running back. Fuck no. I'm not drafting no running back in no first 3 rounds, 4 rounds. I'm not drafting no running back. No, 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 no. I'm not doing it. No, no. I'm not doing that. Now linebacker. Yes, yes. You know what's funny, JV? I never thought it would be so. It's linebacker and safety. I'll do linebacker and safety. I never thought it would be so hard to find linebackers who know how to read and react. Like just finding a linebacker that can consistently on a run play go and engage with the lineman and shed a block can get you a first round pick now. Like it's so rare to see a linebacker just take on a block and just fly to the football. It's rare. So yes, I'm drafting a linebacker early. I'm not drafting no running back, man. I get it, man. Jameer Gibbs is great. I get it. I can't think of all the running backs that have been drafted in the first round, but these dudes don't last long, man. They don't last long. Javante Williams was a what draft pick? What was Javante Williams drafted? Javante Williams was drafted in the second round. Bijan Robinson is great. So we got Bijan Robinson. We got the dude at the Raiders, right? We got the dude for Detroit. Okay, I'm with you. I'm with you on that. Now, same time, Oakland ain't doing nothing. So we got they still need a quarterback, right? Detroit has a quarterback, so Jameer Gibbs fell right in. I get you on that. Bijan Robinson, I thought they had a quarterback. They actually had two quarterbacks since Bijan has been there. He's been great, but those teams haven't really been great. Jonathan Taylor, yes. Oh god damn, you making some points, man. Look, man. Look, let's be real. Do we really feel like if you put another running back behind these O lines that these running backs are not going to be good? Like you put Javante Williams behind the Colts O line, you don't think he's still Javante Williams? I think he is. I guess. What did you just see? You just saw a dude get picked up off the street. The dude got picked up off the street for the Cowboys. And don't act like he didn't flash in the preseason. As soon as he got picked up off the street, he 2 days later, the dude was looked like the best running back that we had in training camp. I don't even think he was drafted. I mean, if you block, these running backs will find that hole, man. You just got to have a decent enough running back who's coachable. Like Jadon Blue must not be coachable. That's why he's not playing. Because clearly he has the talent, but is Jadon Blue coachable? It sounds like Jadon Blue wasn't coachable. That's why he ain't playing. Because a dude named is it Malik Davis? Malik Davis came in there. They signed him in training camp, and I know he'd been on the team before, but they signed him in training camp. They played him, and he was already looking good. He looked better than Phil Malfa. He looked better than everybody else. Yeah, I want Javonte Williams back. I think Javonte Williams has proven that he deserves the money. The thing is, when you have a guy like a Malik Davis show up, it just reminds coaches and owners that, man, I don't have to pay a running back 10 million a year. Like I can let that dude go, or I can try to lowball him and sign him for something else and try to convince him that, hey man, like they gotta convince Javonte Williams that he's better off in Dallas, even making less money, but as long as we can have multiple backs. Like he's better off. Like they gotta convince him of that because Javonte Williams is a great back, but he's great. He doesn't need to carry the ball 30 times a game though. I want to keep Javante too. I just don't want to spend a whole lot of money on a running back. I mean, we like Maffa, but at the end of the day, man, what do we feel like Phil Maffa would have brought this year? I've never one game. There hasn't been one game where I've missed Phil Maffa. I'm not gonna lie to you. I missed Jadon Blue a few games early in the season, but there wasn't one game that I was like, we need Phil Maffa. Nah. Anything Phil Maffa would do, it will give you the impression that Javante Williams would have been able to get more yards because Javante Williams is a power back with speed. Phil Maffa was just a power back with average speed. I mean, he wasn't slow, but he wasn't Javante Williams either. And he's definitely not Jadon Blue or Malik Davis. So I get Phil Maffa, but Phil Maffa is pretty much where he needs to be. I think we just found guys that are more talented than Phil Maffa. My whole thing is why sign and put money towards a fullback that you're not going to use? That's my thing. Like why sign a fullback and try to make him like this dude that you're gonna like really utilize in the offense, and he's just a special teams player. I don't get that. That's a Brian Schottenheimer thing. Like, let's just be real. That's a Brian Schottenheimer thing. Why are you not able to use this fullback? He's supposed to be a weapon on this team. If you're gonna pay him like you pay, like why just keep him like a regular fullback? You can utilize a regular fullback once a game and not have to pay him money like he's a legit guy. Salary cap will be near 300 in 2026. I believe 10 million would be cheap in this situation. I'm just throwing out a number. I don't even know if that's what Javante Williams want, man. I don't even know. I'll tell you this: if I'm Javante Williams' agent, it's gonna be hard for me to stop trying to ask for top five money. I'm asking for top five money for sure. I don't think we can franchise him. I don't think we want to. Hunter Lipke is better than the tight end. Better than what tight end? Hunter Lipke is better than what tight end? He ain't better than Ferguson, and he ain't better than number 89. He ain't better than number 89. In what way? How's he better than Ferguson? And I was the guy who said Ferguson shouldn't have got paid because Ferguson needed to prove something. And then remember, he started the season kind of slow, and I was like, you need to, but he's picked it up. He's picked it up. He's obviously one of the leading tight ends when it comes to passes and targets and touchdowns. So he's a friendly weapon, but yeah, Hunter Lipke's not, how? They barely even use Hunter Lipke. I'm one of those guys who think Hunter Lipke's pretty talented, but when they tried to use him in the past years, he'll fumble the ball in a crucial situation because they never give him the ball, and then you give him the ball in like the playoffs or something. It's weird. Like they'll try to give him the ball in a playoff situation when you haven't used them all year. I think he must be a really good practice player. You know what I mean? He's a white boy that has some athleticism. He's probably tough. And I think he's a good special teams guy. And I think he just flashes on offense and they want him to be better than he is, but he's not. Well, look, let's just call it what it is, man. Ferguson was a dude that we thought was the next Travis Kelsey, his first year and a half, right? Like his first year or two, we thought Ferguson was the next Travis Kelsey. And yes, it was because of body type and height and number, but that's what he looked like. He looked like he was a year or two away from being Travis Kelsey. That's what it looked like. And then he had the season where Dak got hurt and he didn't score any touchdowns that year. And then they paid him last year. They paid him this offseason. And then he started off slow, but he's picked it up. He's picked it up. He will drop a couple. He dropped a couple. I think he dropped one or two passes early in the year, right? But since then, I mean, you take Ferguson off this team ain't as good. So yeah, you gotta have a Ferguson, and I don't think Ferguson is just a average tight end that just runs and turns around. I think Ferguson is a guy who's a ball catcher. You know what I mean? Like he makes tough catches and things like that. I think he's legit. He's legit. Now I wouldn't have paid him after last year though, but maybe that was one of those Jerry Jones moves where it was like, look, this is the perfect time to pay him because if we wait till he has 10 touchdowns, now he's going to be asking for Travis Kelsey money. And maybe that's why Donovan is an owner. Ferguson was one of them ones back then. He was. He was. I'm more against Limke than I am Ferguson. I'm the Limke signing, there was no where did the Limke signing come from? He was just a dude that was a fullback on your team, and people don't even use fullbacks. So because he was making your team, you felt like you needed to sign him. Limke has not showed anybody anything. What up, Timothy Santiago? Cowboys still a first round exit. Look, man, don't come on here hating, man. We've been doing good. How long I've been on here? 37 minutes without one hater. Here he come. Cowboys stink. First round exit. Who we gonna lose to? Who do you believe is better than the Cowboys? Who do you believe is better than the Cowboys? I just want an honest answer. Who is better than the Cowboys that we will play in the first round and lose to? Looking at the let me go to the standings. Let's see. First of all, you're saying that we would go to the playoffs is actually pretty good because that means you think we're a playoff team, which is good. We would lose to the Rams and the Broncos. So, well, those are two teams we don't play very well. I can agree to that. I can agree to that. I'm a homer, but we do not play the Broncos, nor do we play the Rams very good. So maybe you got something there. I'm not giving you the Broncos when I think we can beat the Broncos. I'm not giving you the Broncos. I don't know what it is about that game, but we can beat the Broncos. But the Rams is a shootout. The Rams is a shootout, and you're right. We wouldn't even have to worry about the Broncos until the Super Bowl. There you go. That's what I'm talking about, JV. Cowboys are overrated. How? We're 6-5-1. How are we overrated? What? We only have like a 7% chance of going to the playoffs. Where is this rating that you're talking about coming from? Don't let the American team fans fool you. We always hyping our team. We always hype our team. Even when they bad, we hype our team. That's just what we do. That's why we America's team. We real fans. Yeah, man, you trolling, man. Cowboys ain't no overhype, man. How you overhype with the number one quarterback? How that's possible? How you overhype with a receiver that make 34 million and then another receiver that's better than him? How is that? How you overhype with the number one defensive tackle in football? How you overhype with Tyler Smith and the Booker brothers, the Tyler brothers? Come on, Cowboys got all that confidence so they can fall and so. Hey, look. First of all, we're building. You heard Dak Prescott in his interviews. He says all this means is we're building confidence to show y'all that we can beat anybody. This team is different, man. This team is different. Timothy, you're gonna have to just accept the fact that we a different team this year, man. We got all that confidence so we can just fall so you can laugh. You sound like, is that Stephen A. Smith? Hey JV, is that Stephen A. Smith, man? That Stephen A. Smith over here hacking people accounts, man. Stephen A. Smith need to get away from here. Stephen A. This is why y'all need to stop watching ESPN. Stop watching ESPN, man. Stephen A. Smith gets paid. He gets paid to say the same thing. He literally has been getting money off of the last 30 years of the Cowboys not making the play, not making the Super Bowl by just betting against the Cowboys. Getting on national TV talking about we gonna fall. Cowboys just beat the reigning conference champions, Timothy, back to back. Timothy, that's what I'm talking about. Hey, JV, man, these boys know the Cowboys look good, man. Like it's one thing to win like on some luck stuff or some 7-6 ball game. You know what I'm saying? Like the defense is just so good and you just squeeze by over the field goal. Nah. Everything that they hate is happening. They hate Dak Prescott and they hate that Dak Prescott look like the number one quarterback in football. They hate it. They hate it. I don't know what it is, man. They hate it more than they hated Tony Romo. But Dak Prescott being MVP, the only thing worse that could happen is him actually going to the Super Bowl, bro. It was funny to me when haters say that we act like the games like regular season is our Super Bowl. Bro, do y'all really know? Do y'all even understand what will happen to this to Earth when the Cowboys get back to like let get back, let alone win? Do y'all know what's gonna happen, bro? I'm talking about businesses gonna shut down, schools gonna close. The Earth just we just gonna be partying and vibing just for a whole year when the Cowboys win. Like you really think Cowboy fans is turning up for some regular season games, man? You ain't seen nothing yet. Cowboys are number one hated team in America. Cowboys are not an American team. They are a joke. I don't think Timothy's making too much sense, man. Here's what I'm willing to bet Timothy $1 million, and I don't know I ain't got it, but I'm willing to bet him all my money. There's not one Cowboy fan on an Eagles chat right now. I can promise you that out of all the Cowboy fans in America and around the world, not one of us has ever went to a Philadelphia Eagles fan chat and talk shit. You know why? Because we wouldn't get nothing from that. What is that? Why would we try to talk down on people? We're up here. Y'all gotta realize that Cowboys, we're up here. We don't feel the need to talk down. We don't even I live in Houston, Texas, full of Texan fans. I don't even listen. I don't even pay attention to the Texans. I don't even hear that. What if the Texans ever won? They just be talk, 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 talk. I just walk with my star. All the Cowboy fans, we just walk by, head nodding each other. You know what I'm saying? Fist pumping. Because we know it's just a vibe to be a star. Cowboys are no, Cowboys still at first round exit bunch of bums. Hey JV, man, he wants to be a Cowboy fan, man. Let him make it. Timothy wants to be a Cowboy fan. That's all. He wants to be a Cowboy fan. He was probably born in a house. He probably from Vermont or something. He's probably from Vermont, and he probably don't got no football team over there. His family is probably who knows New England Patriot fans or something like that. Who knows? And but he always wanted to be a star. He always wanted to have that star on his chest. I can tell that's Timothy. He always wanted to be a star, but he could never quite go watch a game. You know what I mean? He always just had to watch it on TV. I can tell Timothy, you could be a fan, man. I know you like what you're saying. I know what you like. I know you like what you're saying. So remember, y'all, I said before the Raiders game, Cowboy fans, remember what I said before the Raiders game? I said, look, if we hold the Raiders to under 20 points, we may have something. I said that the best teams that are in the playoff race, their defenses give up no more than like 23 points a game or something like that. So we gave up 28 to the Chiefs, but we gave up 21 to Philly. So if you were to average out like the last three games, if you were to average the last three games, that's what I don't got the scores in front of me, but I promise you that's probably in that 22, 23 points a game average. So we're in that area that we need to be. We're in that area that we need to be in defensively to go on a run. I said if we win that Raiders game, I said we can go on a run. We can go on a run. Cowboys confidence is high right now, so I can laugh when they fall in the playoffs. I hate the Cowboys, but why? Why do you hate the Cowboys? We don't hate anybody. Cowboy fans don't hate anybody. There's no reason to hate. Think about it. You gotta have something to hate on. What can we hate about? We don't hate the Patriots. The Patriots had a great run. Great run with Tom Brady. They still right up there with us. We still there historically wise. We the Cowboys. We still it's still not the Cowboys. What do we have to hate on? I don't like Cowboys fans, and I hate what Cowboys doing. Cowboys fans are a delusional bunch. Oh, here we go with this delusional word. They love to call us delusional. What makes us delusional though? Like, why are we so different as fans than everybody else? Because we root for our team. When they lose and when they win, we root for them. Is that why we delusional? Are we delusional because our content creators are all over and they watch film and they put out film for everybody else who don't got the ability to watch the film, and we dissect stuff and we be like, hey, we need more from this guy, we need more from this guy? Are we delusional because we hold our players accountable? Like, what? How are we delusional? Yeah, man. I don't, Timothy probably gone, man. Look, at the end of the day, he's a hater, man. Hey, we got to give it up for Timothy. He's the definition of a hater. I guess a hater does have to literally hate, right? That's the definition of a hater. You gotta hate something. I just laugh because Cowboy fans don't hate nothing. We just really be in our own vibe. That's what's funny to me. Cowboy fans be in our own. I think that's why people hate us so much because we be in our own vibe, and it just naturally brings out hate. Like Timothy was just scrolling through YouTube, and I want to believe that he wasn't searching for Dallas Cowboy content, but he saw it and he just said, "You know what? I gotta hate it. I gotta do it. I gotta hate it." I've never done that. I've never done it. I got Philadelphia haters who hate come to me and try to hate, but I don't directly. No, I don't got to do all that, man. The Cowboys are the Cowboys. Dak Prescott is better than Jalen Hurts. I don't have to. I don't have to prove that. It's already proven. You telling me that Dak Prescott is 1-2 in the playoffs or Jalen Hurts has a Super Bowl is not going to prove your point to me. You telling me that Dak Prescott is a horrible quarterback just tells me that you don't know football. You're not even willing to have you're not even willing to have yeah, you're not I'm not having a conversation or a debate with you if you're calling Dak Prescott horrible at any time in his career. He's never been horrible. I don't care. His most high interception season, he was not horrible. He was never worse than top 10 ever. Ever. So some people you don't even entertain. He's never been horrible in the playoffs. He's never been horrible in the playoffs. He's never been horrible in the playoffs. The Cowboys have never been horrible in the playoffs. They just don't show up the first half. That's why I started this stream and I was like, let's be careful with naming Brian Schottenheimer the coach of the year because The Eagles and the Chiefs, we started off not the strongest. And I'm talking defensively, but even offensively, we started off kind of slow against that Eagles team. And I get familiarity and all that. But they was familiar with us too when the Eagles scored almost every possession. And the Chiefs was starting to do that too. They scored pretty easily. So I want us to start fast like that on both sides of the ball. I don't want Dak Prescott to be trying to throw us out of shit in the first quarter, man. Y'all, this is what I don't understand. Y'all know how hard it is to be a quarterback and then play a quarterback and you're down 10, 14 points and it's still the first half. You can't even run a regular offense. Now it's just, I can tell when people never played defense before. You've never been a defensive lineman and just knew it was a passing down. You feel like you're unstoppable. You feel unstoppable because you know there's only going to be a pass play. And this dude cannot backpedal faster than you. Or if you're a cornerback and you know it's a pass, it has to be, they have to pass the ball 90% of the rest of the game to get back into it. I'm sitting on everything. This is when quarterbacks, not just that, this is when quarterbacks throw picks. When you try to make them have to throw you into it and they're down and now their defense sucks and now they know they have to go score 40. This is when defenses get confident. You say they suck, Timothy. I say it's coaching. You say they suck. I say it's coaching. Because I see teams that we go against that are better prepared. How are we winning 12 games a year, but yet we're not prepared in the playoffs? We start slow in the playoffs. How is that possible? Why does that happen? It's because our team isn't focused. They're not focused. That's coaching. JV, not even Peyton Manning got this much hate, and his playoff stats are horrible. Hey, you right about that one. And I remember Peyton Manning used to get some hate, and it wasn't like this. And you know what? Why is that? Peyton Manning had more expectations. He was the first overall pick. Dak Prescott was a little fourth round pick. Little fourth round pick. Jerry Jones looked at him in his face and said, you got me. I wasn't supposed to pay you. I didn't want to pay him all that money. Jerry Jones didn't believe in him. Tony Romo had to get that man his job. It took Tony Romo going to Jerry Jones to give Dak Prescott that job when we all knew that was Dak Prescott's job his rookie year. We all knew it. As good as we thought Tony Romo was, he was past. It was done with. We knew Dak Prescott was better. Not the profanity, man. Not the profanity. They called Peyton Manning Jesus and Cleats before he ever won his first game. Kind of like they called that old boy in Jacksonville. Hey, JV, this is why we don't debate with other haters, man, when they try to hate on our quarterback. There's a dude in Jacksonville nobody talks about, bruh. He's been horrible since day one, and they paid him after he's been horrible. He's never been as good as that. There's a dude in Jacksonville who was very hyped up. He ain't that good. He's not that good. Every year there are quarterbacks that come out and people say it's gonna be better than that. Jaden Daniels. Not one person that wasn't a Cowboy fan did not think that Jaden Daniels was better than Dak. Everybody said Jaden Daniels was better than Dak after 1 year, all because he won a playoff game or whatever it was. He was barely in the league and he was better than Dak Prescott. This is what Dak has to deal with every year. Somebody is better than Dak. Every year they're trying to replace him. Guarantee you, people think the guy in New York is going to be better than Dak Prescott unless Dak goes to the Super Bowl. That's the thing. Dak has to win a Super Bowl for people to not for people to respect him. Mm-mm. We here though, Cowboy fans. We here. We ain't gonna take no Dak slander. You know what I'm saying? We gonna hold our players accountable. We held CD accountable. What happened? He owned up to his mistakes, and then he went out there and balled. CD knew he couldn't just not own up to it. You can't just be talking about some I'm like the ball's gotta be perfect. Man, you a receiver. Catch the ball. If it hits you in the hands, catch it. You don't determine where the football goes, man. If it go wide, if it goes whatever way, if it hits you in the hands, you gotta catch it. So he knew that's the problem. He corrected the problem. I get it. AJV, if you was CD, you would have been threatened by George Pickens a little bit. You would have made it feel sound good, you know what I'm saying? We 1A, and all that kind of stuff, 1A, 1B, we all that. But deep down, CD knew from practice, this dude different. He's a little bit more twitchier than me. He's faster than me. I may be a better route runner, but he has strong hands. This guy, he's younger than me. Oof, I gotta show up. And I think that messed with CD, man. I think CD was dropping them balls in Philly week 1 because George Pickens threatens him. That's the truth. George Pickens threatens CD. That's the reality of it. So it's easy for us to just be like 1A, 1B. But the reality is, CD looking at this dude as he's put. This is different than Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. Jamar Chase doesn't look at anybody and think he's better. Justin Jefferson, nobody. But CD Lamb is not Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase is a different type of dude. He doesn't look at T. Higgins and thinks anything threatens him. No, that's why Justin Jefferson got the most money in the league by like 5, 10 million a year. Because he knew he was that guy. And T. Higgins was just number 2. But this is different. Pickens is everybody says Pickens looks like the number 1 receiver in the league now. So what you gonna do, CD? He showed up. That's what he did. He showed up. Look, CD Lamb has got to understand, man. Even in college, you wasn't the fastest guy. Just because you was a run after catch guy, you was a yards after catch guy, you wasn't a speedster. So you got to understand that you just got to keep taking. What the best thing that could have happened was Pickens coming here because now CD knows, you know what? I can't ever fall off. There's people out here better than me. I got to keep running. I got to keep hustling. I got to keep working. And if we being honest, I don't know if CD Lamb was going to keep that same motivation if we didn't have a dude that was better than him. Cooper, he had that motivation because he Cooper was better at that time. Since Cooper left, he got his money. Now it's like, okay, how do you stay motivated to just keep elevating, elevating? Now you got to because you got CD there. I mean, you got Pickens there who every day is just effortlessly moving around and joyful and giving you everything the fans wanted to see from CD. Pickens gives it to you. Pickens fights for the football. That play that Pickens caught over 2 players in Philly, CD Lamb keeps running out of bounds because the ball was a yard short. Am I lying? There's been multiple plays throughout the year where we've seen CD turn those same passes into interceptions, and we see Pickens either catch it or he breaks it up. It's showing CD that hey man, you could be a number 1 receiver and not be a diva and still be a dog and still be the what I'm saying, like go get the football. That's what you're getting paid to do. Oh, I'm trying to think if Cooper was Cooper known as a workout guy or was he just a route runner? Like, do you get that impression like that Cooper is like a workout warrior? I don't know about that one. I think CD works at it, but I think it's easy to get relaxed when you walk into there and you know you easily the best receiver every time you walk into the training camp. And now when you walk in there, you see a guy that's better, bigger, faster, stronger than you, and is going to be looking to get paid too. And you want him to get paid, but reality is nobody says that they have to keep CD Lamb. I know that's a stupid thing. Never, let me stop. They gonna keep CD. They gonna keep picking. They gonna pay him both. They gonna keep him. They gonna pay him both. I'm just saying. I think the reason why he was dropping that ball is like you said. It was mental. He had to get over that mentality. Maybe it was Coach Schottenheimer saying, "Hey man, we gonna throw you the ball anyway." But he had to have known that because he gets 10 targets a game. He gonna get the ball. But you got to catch that mug, man. And he lost us that Philly game. He lost us one. Oh yeah, he lost us one. We supposed to be 7-4-1 right now. What would that look like? We 7-4-1 and Philly is whatever they would be. Look a little different. All right, y'all. We got to get ready for. There's a game coming on in about an hour. Go relax a little bit. Enjoy this Friday. I know my schedule. I ain't really been on here as much and all that kind of stuff. I ain't got no excuses, but I'm gonna get on here again when I can. Appreciate y'all for joining. This is another episode of Donovan Talks Cowboys. Hey, look, we going to the Super Bowl, baby.